From the icy peaks of Kanchenjunga to the lush valleys of Uttarakhand, the Himalayas stand as a testament to nature's awe-inspiring power. These majestic mountains are far more than just a geographical wonder. They are the very lifeblood of India, shaping its climate, nurturing its rivers, and influencing its culture for millennia. Join me as we embark on a journey to explore the profound influence of the Himalayas on India, delving into their significance for the nation's climate, its precious water resources, the rich tapestry of life they harbor, and the geopolitical landscape they define. Across the northern frontier of the Indian subcontinent, the Himalayas stand as formidable sentinels, their towering peaks shaping the very air we breathe. These mountains act as a colossal barrier, deflecting the icy winds that sweep down from Siberia and Central Asia. Without the Himalayas, the plains of India would be exposed to these frigid blasts, rendering vast swathes of land inhospitable. As moist air masses surge northward from the Indian Ocean, they encounter the insurmountable wall of the Himalayas. Forced upwards, these moisture-laden winds cool, condense, and release their bounty as torrential rain. The southern slopes, facing the onslaught of the monsoon, receive the heaviest downpours, nourishing the fertile Gangetic plains. In stark contrast, the northern slopes, lying in the rain shadow, experience significantly drier conditions. This dramatic variation in precipitation gives rise to a breathtaking array of microclimates within the Himalayas themselves. As we ascend these slopes, we transition from lush subtropical forests teeming with life to alpine meadows carpeted in wildflowers, and finally to the icy desolation of the high peaks. Understanding the Himalayas' role in shaping India's climate is crucial, not only for comprehending the country's weather patterns, but also for predicting and mitigating the impacts of climate change. The delicate balance of this ecosystem is under threat, and its fate is inextricably linked to the future of millions. Let us now turn our attention to the lifeblood of India, its mighty rivers, and explore how the Himalayas serve as the wellspring of these vital waterways. The Himalayas are not only the guardians of India's climate, they are also the source of its lifeblood water. These mountains are the birthplace of some of Asia's mightiest rivers, the Ganges, the Yamuna, the Brahmaputra, and the Indus, each one a lifeline for millions. High within the Himalayas' embrace lie vast reserves of frozen water, locked away in glaciers' icy rivers that grind their way down from the peaks. These glaciers act as natural reservoirs, slowly releasing their meltwater throughout the year, ensuring a steady flow in the rivers below. The Gangotri Glacier, nestled high in the Garhwal Himalayas, is a prime example. This immense river of ice, the source of the sacred Ganges, provides water for drinking, irrigation and hydropower to a vast population downstream. Further east, in the shadow of Kanchenjunga, lies the Zemu Glacier, feeding the mighty Brahmaputra. Its meltwater sustains life in the fertile valleys of Assam and Bangladesh. But the Himalayas' glaciers are under threat. Climate change is causing them to melt at an alarming rate, jeopardizing the water security of millions. The heavy rainfall on its southern slopes percolates through the porous rock, replenishing groundwater aquifers. These aquifers are a vital source of water for millions, particularly during the dry season. The rivers born in the Himalayas not only sustain life, they also shape the land. Over millennia, they have carved out vast plains, depositing fertile silt that supports India's agricultural heartland. From the snow-clad peaks to the steamy jungles, the Himalayas are a tapestry woven with an astonishing diversity of life. This grand mountain range is home to a kaleidoscope of ecosystems, each with its own unique assemblage of plants and animals. As we ascend the southern slopes, we journey through a series of distinct vegetation zones. At lower elevations, where the air is warm and humid, subtropical forests dominate. Towering trees draped in lianas create a verdant canopy alive with the calls of exotic birds. Higher up, as the air thins and temperatures drop, we enter the realm of temperate forests. Here, oaks, pines, and rhododendrons paint the slopes in vibrant hues, especially during their spectacular spring bloom. Above the tree line, where the air is thin and cold, lies a harsher, yet no less fascinating, world. Alpine meadows carpeted in wildflowers provide sustenance for a surprising array of creatures, including the elusive snow leopard and the nimble Himalayan tahr. The region's isolation and varied microclimates have driven the evolution of numerous endemic species found nowhere else on Earth. The iconic snow leopard, with its smoky grey coat and piercing blue eyes, is a prime example. The Himalayan black bear, the red panda, and the enigmatic musk deer are just a few of the other fascinating creatures that call these mountains home. Preserving this biodiversity is not just an ecological imperative, it is also crucial for the livelihoods of millions who depend on the Himalayas' resources. The Himalayas, with their formidable terrain and towering peaks, have long served as India's natural defense barrier, shaping the country's geopolitical realities for centuries. These mountains, often referred to as the roof of the world, have witnessed the ebb and flow of empires, the rise and fall of dynasties. The Himalayas' strategic importance stems from their very geography. The rugged terrain, characterized by narrow passes, steep valleys, and treacherous glaciers, makes military movement extremely difficult. This natural barrier has historically limited incursions into the Indian subcontinent, shaping the course of wars and influencing political boundaries. The Himalayas' role as a strategic buffer is particularly evident along India's borders with China, Nepal, and Bhutan. These mountainous frontiers have been the site of territorial disputes, military standoffs, and strategic maneuvering for decades. The Aksai Chin region, a high-altitude desert in the western Himalayas, has been a point of contention between India and China since the 1962 Sino-Indian War. Despite the challenges, the Himalayas also offer opportunities for cooperation. The shared water resources originating in these mountains necessitate dialogue and collaboration among India, China, Nepal, and Bhutan. The Himalayas, often perceived as remote and inaccessible, are in fact deeply intertwined with the economic realities of millions. These mountains, with their breathtaking landscapes and cultural richness, are a source of livelihood for a significant population. Tourism is undoubtedly the most visible manifestation of the Himalayas' economic potential. Every year, millions of travelers from India and abroad are drawn to these mountains, seeking solace in their serene beauty or an adrenaline rush from adventure sports. The trekking routes of Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh, leading to pristine alpine lakes and snow-capped peaks, are a magnet for adventure enthusiasts. The pilgrimage circuits of Char Dham and Amarnath Yatra attract millions of devotees, contributing significantly to the local economies. The fertile valleys and terraced slopes carved by rivers over millennia support a diverse range of agricultural activities. The foothills of Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand are renowned for their apple orchards, producing some of the finest varieties in the world. The Darjeeling Hills, nestled in the eastern Himalayas, are synonymous with tea cultivation, producing the world-renowned Darjeeling tea. Medicinal plants, many of which are endemic to the Himalayas, are another important source of income for local communities. These plants, used in traditional medicine systems for centuries, are now finding their way into modern pharmaceuticals, creating new economic opportunities. Harnessing the Himalayas' economic potential, however, requires a delicate balance. The Himalayas, for all their grandeur and resilience, are facing an unprecedented environmental crisis. Climate change, coupled with unsustainable human activities, is pushing this fragile ecosystem to the brink. The most visible impact of climate change is the rapid melting of Himalayan glaciers. These water towers of Asia, which feed its major rivers, are shrinking at an alarming rate, threatening the water security of millions downstream. The changing precipitation patterns, with more frequent and intense rainfall events, are exacerbating the risk of landslides and flash floods. These natural disasters not only cause widespread destruction, but also disrupt livelihoods and displace communities. Deforestation, driven by the demand for timber and agricultural land, is another major threat. The loss of forest cover not only exacerbates soil erosion and landslides, but also disrupts the delicate water cycle, further impacting downstream communities. Unregulated tourism, while contributing to the local economy, also puts immense pressure on the environment. The influx of tourists, often exceeding the carrying capacity of fragile ecosystems, leads to pollution, habitat degradation, and strain on local resources. As we conclude our journey through the Himalayas, we are left in awe of their sheer magnificence and the profound influence they exert on the Indian subcontinent. These mountains are not merely a geographical wonder, they are the very lifeblood of India, shaping its climate, nurturing its rivers, and influencing its culture for millennia. For those aspiring to serve India through the UPSC, understanding the multifaceted role of the Himalayas is not merely an academic exercise. It is a crucial step towards informed and responsible leadership. The fate of millions hinges on our ability to comprehend the delicate balance of this ecosystem and the challenges it faces. Only through a comprehensive understanding can we hope to protect this natural heritage for generations to come.